Good afternoon. Welcome, everyone. We listened to the state of the state from Governor Murphy. And let me be clear. I respect Governor Murphy as a person and as a governor of the state. I want everyone to understand that the issues that exist between myself as the Republican leader and Governor Murphy are not personal. The reason this is so important, I start my statement with this theme, is because what we saw in Washington was a disgrace to our country. People disrespected the institutions, disrespected the decisions of the court, attacked our Capitol. In my judgment, it is extremely important for us as leaders to be clear that our differences, at least between my caucus and the Democratic caucus and myself and the governor, are not personal. They're philosophical. I deeply disagree with Governor Murphy's approach to many of the areas in governing New Jersey. But he has been to my house. I have been to his house. And I feel confident that most New Jerseyans and most Americans are people of goodwill. It is so vitally important that leaders say this. We are not enemies. We are different members. We are members of different political parties. Those who want to turn each other into enemies, in my judgment, do a disservice to democracy. And let me also address those who spew hate in the media or on social media. That is not a productive way to react to issues in our society. I start to tell you that I am a friend of Governor Murphy. But we disagree on many subjects, and let me begin to tell you that the overreach of Trenton and the Democrats for the last 20 years has caused us to be the #1 exit state in our country, the #1 taxed state in our country. This is why it's so important that we start to move away from raising taxes. And let me be specific. The governor and the members of his party have raised taxes 41 times. The total amount of new taxes and higher taxes, $4.2 billion. This is the reason that people are leaving our state. And during this economic crisis, partially created by COVID, this was the first time in a decade where the Democratic leadership and the governor gave away what we call Christmas tree items, $110 million in unnecessary spending that was done during budget. In the next 3 to 5 months, the Democrats will no longer have the opportunity to point at Donald Trump, nor point at Chris Christie. They will have to take on the responsibility of governing without any excuses. No excuses from now until November. It is time to enact sane fiscal policies. I also watched this governor execute many executive orders without any input from the public. There had been no committee hearings, no opportunity to be heard by small businesses. The entire state was run by executive order. And I can tell you that people were frustrated that they couldn't present their view to the governor. With respect to the administration and their inability to handle this crisis, the Department of Motor Vehicles has been a nightmare for drivers and owners of motor vehicles since this pandemic began. Barely can people be able to register their car, get their new licenses, or deal with motor vehicles. In addition, we watched how unemployment completely failed, that they were unable to react to the crisis. I tell you all this because I believe that the Republican philosophy in New Jersey is one that focuses on lower taxes, making our state more competitive so people move in rather than move out, as well as making sure that we help the most needy. But we can't overgovern. We cannot fix every issue. Government is trying to fix every single issue that exists. Government has a limited duty. Its duty is to make sure people have the ability to earn a living and enjoy their life in our state. So I leave you with one thought. We must change the direction of this state. We cannot continue to tax people out of this state, but we must continue to respect each other. On that, I'm happy to answer any questions.